right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Burn Your Boats. I am Clark, and I am here with my great friend and co-host, David Shaw. And we are going to try and keep this to 30 minutes. I know it's basically impossible. And Sheena, who works behind the scenes that you guys don't see, but it's actually the one that makes this whole podcast happen, would love us to do a 30-minute episode instead of an hour. David, can we do that today? Can we try for 30 minutes?
We will rise to the challenge, I'm sure
Sheena
of
is
it.
praying right now. So we wanted to kind of hit on a few things today, David. What are your thoughts on that before we kind of jump into the nitty gritty?
Okay, so like today's episode, we're going to talk about like less is more. Okay, you're going to have to stop doing a ton of the stuff you're currently doing that's
Amen.
taking your energy, your focus and attention. So Clark, I know this is a passion project of yours, and before we get started, just to commemorate the episode, I'm holding up. What book am I holding up?
The One Thing by Gary Keller, David.
Okay, but that's easy to say.
I've been so busy lately. I'm like, what does that even mean? Like it's and I think in our culture is that it's almost like either a defense mechanism or almost like a badge of honor.
I recall having a meeting with you and I and a very, very successful real estate and business entrepreneur, Matt Larson.
Yep.
And I our time ran over, and I thanked him for his time. And so I know you're super busy, so thank you for your time. Because I'm not busy at all. I'm like, well, he runs 8 companies.
Yeah. Now I've consumed a fair amount of alcohol. I've ate like crap, right? I've probably spent $100 or $200 or whatever it is, because everything is, prices for restaurants and food are so high right now. And then I come home groggy, right? Am I waking up on that Sunday morning feeling like ready to go take on the world and go get a great gym workout and then go grab some time for working and catching up on my rental properties or catching up on things? Absolutely not,
Clark,
right?
Let's go through a few of these things,
Yep.
right? So, you always quote to me the kind of the one in, one out rule. Tell me very quickly, what's that rule, right? So tell me, how do you address this one in, one out?
Yeah, so I think it makes it easy. Let's say that I want to.
You were there, Clark. So
Yep.
Drowning, absolutely drowning in business. So we went from wanting business, and this wouldn't be the first time that we've done this to people. And you're just like, I'm going to burn out. I'm collapsing. Hundreds of hours, hundreds. I would say actually years of my life, saying yes, going to pointless meetings, doing pointless things that didn't directly affect me.
I want to give a story. So I have bought so many houses, okay, where I've walked in and the kitchen looks amazing. The flooring is really old. There's no baseboards.
I'll give you a practical example of that exactly. So everybody's got Zillow on their phone, right? We're in the real estate business. Everybody's got Zillow on their phone.
Now I'm paying for something. I don't even receive the service, right? So if you can start doing a personal financial audit, but then that comes to let's talk about, David. And I know that Brian Lubin talks about this a lot on his podcast, and he did a little bit on ours, and I really like it. It's tough.
I think that's really important. I'll give you a good example. I've spoken to a lot of people who recently went to the Bigger Pockets BP Con. I know a lot of people who went to it. I didn't, right? And I've asked a few people, it's like, how was BP? They're like,
I like that growth comment about what does growth mindset mean? And it means so many different things, but there you go.